Today, I asked Dr. Kieran O'Keefe to give his opinions on what had occurred during the previous evening.
During the investigation, the team experienced a number of different phenomena. On a walk around with David, there was actually some stone throwing. Now, the difficulty is that this occurred in the octagon area of the Hex ride. Now, with the number of people that were involved in the walk around, it was difficult to tell whether the stone was actually thrown or somebody could have knocked it just walking around with their camera, sound, or even one of the presenters. So, for that particular phenomena, I have to be sceptical. What was of significance in that walk around, however, was David Wells' accurate pinpointing of the entrance to the towers. At the moment, if you look at the building, it appears as though an entrance is on another side. However, it's all covered up. David was able to get behind that cover and actually describe in accurate detail how somebody would enter into the towers. So I'm quite impressed with that particular piece of information. The most significant piece of phenomena that happened was on a vigil conducted by Carl and Stuart. At one point, Stuart returned to the crew room in almost a blind panic, unsure as to where Carl was and visibly concerned for his safety. Yvette, David and myself and Stuart returned to the towers and looked for Carl, and we found him slumped in one of the rooms against the wall with the camera on the floor.
Yvette! Carl! Is it... Hey, Carl?
There was a huge mark along Carl's forehead. It appeared as though he had been hit in some way or fallen and hurt his head in some way, but he was visibly distressed, confused, disorientated, didn't know what had happened. Even further questioning later on that evening, we weren't able to get more facts from him as to what had happened. The only clues to what had happened was actually on the tape. You hear Carl actually saying that he thought he might have seen something in a doorway, and the camera turned towards the doorway. And even later on, questioning Carl face to face, he said he does seem to remember seeing a shadow or something in the doorway. Now, whether this is associated with his actual injury is difficult to say.
Hello? Oh, shit!
There are only two possible explanations for his injury. One is that some mysterious supernatural force actually grabbed him, interacted with him, threw him against the wall, if you will, knocked him unconscious for a period of time. The other is that in the heat of the moment, and perhaps having seen something or heard something, Carl turned quickly and may have hit his head against the wall. What we do have is Carl's account. We have the video footage to prove that there's actually nobody else in the room at the time. So for me, that was the most significant and interesting phenomena of the night.
Alton Towers had certainly proved to be active and had left the team with much to think about. Carl is now fully recovered from his brush with the unexplainable and looking forward to our coming investigations. Until next time, sleep tight.
Well, a macabre murder in the middle of America gets re-investigated tonight with some extraordinary insights from psychic mediums on the case in real life, haunting evidence. It's at 10:30 after we return to the scene of curses, legends and phantoms next. Rather than me, we're back at Alton Towers in just a sec for a Most Haunted Extra.